Darrell, start with a polite English question. How are you?
Yeah, no, not too bad at all. Not too bad at all.
Is it time to draw a line on Tuesday now?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's seasons, isn't it? We've had setbacks. You have setbacks through the season. It's always how you respond, and a lot of that is actions speak louder than words. To be honest with you, we've said enough about the performance the other night. Albeit, if you look at the game again, it certainly wasn't a 5-1 game, and sometimes it gives everybody what I think the reality check that a lot of people need. If I'm honest with you, Charlton, we're playing against a strike force of 1.1 million. Let's not get carried away with ourselves. We've had a very good start to our life in League One. We're nearly halfway through the season. We nearly got 30 points plus. So there's a lot of positives, and certainly what happens after a big defeat is everybody wants to come out of the woodwork that's been sat behind the woodwork for a long time, and people that maybe have got carried away a little bit get the reality check that everybody needs, and sometimes it can be a good thing. But for me, it's about how we respond as a group and how we move it forward again, starting with Chesterfield Saturday.
Yeah, I suppose you've got to keep feet on the ground because you've only known success for 2 years.
Well, exactly, and then you look at over the last few years where there's been results where there's been through the course of the season where there's been mayhem. The Newport 4-1, Chesham 1-0, resulted in promotion. The conference year, Braintree defeat, Altrincham defeat, result promotion. So we're not a group that's going to get carried away. We want a response. I want a response. I want a positive response. We're in a much more difficult division, obviously, this year, that you get punished for a lot more mistakes. But for me, we'll be looking to start another game from scratch Saturday.
And when they cross the line on Saturday, what do you want from your players at Chesterfield?
Listen, they give me every honest performance. It's not an honest performance. It was another honest performance the other night. We kept going. We kept trying to drive forward. Yeah, a little bit gullible at times because we're down to 10 men and we're 3-0 down. But our fans pay to come and see us have a right good go. And a lot of the fans stayed behind and clapped the lads. I thought the support was absolutely outstanding. And that's because they trust the players to have a right go, whether win or lose. And that was pleasing to see. But we ain't letting our supporters down. The change rooms were very quiet. We'll have to do a lot of confidence building these next couple of days to get the group back to where they should be. To be honest with you, should be very proud of where we're at and realise that in football you're going to get the knockbacks.
I don't imagine you'll need to do much of a team talk on Saturday, will you? The players love the badge and they'll want to do it for themselves and the supporters
but it's always looking at the response. I'm always looking closely at one or two things our players react in. It sometimes comes a bit of a shock of the system when you're not on the best of runs sometimes, and sometimes players go in the shell a little bit, which I don't want to see. We start a football match at 0-0 against Chesterfield, and we look to go and get 3 points.
That's important, isn't it? Because your team are an attacking side and they can score goals, so we don't want them withdrawing now.
No, certainly not. Listen, let's black and white it all up. We're 2 points off the playoffs, which is unbelievable to be at. We've had a great cup tie in the League Cup against Chelsea. We're still in the FA Cup. I think it's been a fantastic first 19 games and cup games of the season. We've got a lot to play for. We've got the window opening in January as well, so players are on the toes. They've never got a big 5 weeks because I have got the green light to go and improve in areas that I need to improve in. So everybody's on the toes. We want to keep pushing it forward, and there's certainly still plenty of excitement around the place, and it's all about making sure the response is key for us on Saturday.
And does January keep the players on their toes in that you're not afraid to make changes?
They know where I stand. There's not going to be no let up and driving the club forward, but let's make no bones about it. We're up against some big teams with massive budgets. Like I say, I just talked to you about 1.1 million strike force at Charlton. We've got a group of players that a lot of them were playing non-league football 2 years ago. So let's have that reality check. Let's get it all papered down the cracks. We might have a fantastic support base, but my squad's cost me 50,000. So let's not get carried away, and we want to keep improving. And the lads have got to keep improving, and they have improved. But the standards are set high here, and we've over this short space of games just recently we've dipped below them standards.
Jake Clarke, Salter, what happens now?
Well, it's been a very, very disappointing. I was at the Youth Cup game last night, and we lost Sam Blake, one of our promising youngsters, had a real bad dislocation and fracture of the ankle. His ankle was facing the other way, and Jake's, broke his arm and had surgery. Both players have had surgery, so my heart goes out to those two really. Two smashing young lads with their careers ahead of them. Obviously Jake's arm's not as serious as Sam, so I want to make sure that they get the quickest recovery. And I helped stretcher him off last night. The lad was in pure agony, brave as a lion. So my thoughts go out to those two players. It's always disappointing to lose players, especially with serious injuries as those two have picked up.
And I met Jake at Oldham the other week. What a nice lad he is. He'll bounce back and hopefully back in a Rovers shirt later this season.
I've already spoke to him. We're very much a family club. The chairman and Steve Brookfield have been over to see him. I was at the game last night, but we'll catch up. I spoke to him on the phone. So it just goes to show that behind the scenes we're a caring family club, and we don't like players, and we want to look after players that pick up serious injuries while giving everything for the shirt. Is
it a good thing that Chesterfield won on Tuesday, or just because they had lost 8 in a row, hadn't they, going into that?
Listen, this is why you can't get carried away. You look at Chesterfield, they lost 8. They've had a great win in Tuesday, so they're confident. They've got a good squad of players, a fantastic manager. There's no better manager than Danny Wilson coming up. Who's managed over 1,000 games, and Danny was my manager at Hartlepool, and he's a great bloke and a thoroughly very, very good manager. So they're in good hands there. And they'll be obviously buoyed by the result Tuesday night.
Yeah, and I think you're only 12 miles from Chesterfield, aren't you? So a club you know half well.
Yeah, Chesterfield, yeah. So those are local rivals when I used to play at Mansfield. So they're obviously having a down season at the minute, but he can quickly turn, can't he? I mean, you look at Bury. I think they lost 8 or 9 on the spin, and it's one of those leagues where you can get stuck in that rut, and I don't want us in that rut, and I want us to respond as quickly as possible.